For my entire life, I've always been skinny. Extremely, almost dangerously skinny. I've pretty much always hated the way I've looked. I've despised being skinny. 2.5 years ago, I weighed 55 kg. There were girls who were a foot shorter than me, who'd weighed more than me. And it really affected me. And I could not remain that small. So what I did was I started going to the gym and I started trying to bulk up. However, pretty much all those bulks just failed, just resulted in me gaining a ton of fat and then losing weight the second that I stopped actively counting calories and eating too much of a surplus. It took me years to finally make consistent progress, and now I've bulked up to 68 kg with an extremely low amount of fat. Now, all it took was this very small change in my mindset in my diet, and now I'm gaining weight consistently around 0.5 to 0.25 kg per week. This change is extremely easy to implement into your life, so if you want to learn more about it, keep watching this video and you'll be able to bulk up and actually become much more muscular and aesthetic very quickly. If you're like me, it's actually extremely hard to actually gain weight. So the key is to actually measure your calories every day to make sure that you remain in a consistent caloric surplus. Now, pretty much everyone knows about this very basic rule of bulking, yet people, including me even a few months ago, struggled a lot with it. The way to most accurately measure your food is to use one of these small scales. They cost like 10 to 20 pounds, and they are essential to being able to precisely measure your macros. The cool thing about this is you can just put your plate or your bowl on the scale and then just click 0, and basically it will just measure only the weight of the food. It won't actually count the weight of the bowl or the plate. Now this is much better than the last scale I used, where I had to actually get the weight of the food and of the bowl and then subtract the weight of the bowl to get the actual weight of the food. It was very complicated. This is much simpler. Now once you start actually measuring your food using one of those scales, or however you need to do it, you'll need to use an app like MyFitnessPal or something like that to actually count and measure the calories that you're eating every day. It also measures the protein, the fiber, carbohydrates. It's very useful and a great way to actually measure and keep track of your macros. The best way to eat in a caloric surplus every day is to eat high calorie foods as the main item with every meal. Now this will mostly be carbohydrates such as bread, pasta, rice, mixed also with meat for the protein such as beef burgers, mince or sausages. Some of the foods that I would use whilst bulking are very high calorie, high protein foods that are simple and easy for me to cook quickly. So this includes bread and butter for breakfast, tuna pasta, beef burgers, pizza, cheese toasties, eggs, whatever it is. These foods take very little effort and very little time to cook and prepare, yet they're both tasty and delicious, and they allow me to hit my calorie and protein goals every day, supporting my training. Most of the actual effort that goes into building an aesthetic body and a muscular body is in the kitchen. If you don't eat enough food or the right food or enough protein, you will never be able to reach your top peak physique because you simply aren't eating enough to support that muscle growth. So make sure that you eat enough, and that's what this whole video is about. Now, I despise thinking and worrying about what I'm going to eat. So my solution to this is pretty much the same meals every day. So this prevents me from having to think too much about whatever meal I want or if I have the right ingredients. Personally, I eat pretty much these meals every day, so it's toast for breakfast, pasta for lunch, and then breads, eggs, cheese, toasties, whatever it is, or something else for dinner. So I keep these meals pretty much consistently. Of course, there's variations to it. Every so often, you'll want to try something else. But if you have the same rough meals that you eat every day. It's a lot simpler for you and it's a lot easier as well. However, I've struggled to actually bulk with just eating 3 meals a day, because you have to eat like 1,000 calories a meal in order to actually get into that caloric surplus, especially once you consider any exercise that you're doing that's burning calories, which is pretty much impossible for me to do. So what I did to solve this is that I would eat snacks throughout the day. So this could be peanuts, bananas, chocolates, pastries, whatever it is. This allows you to get an extra few hundred calories just to supplement in between your meals to make sure that you actually hit your goals. Bulking is an extremely difficult process, but it's especially difficult for those who struggle with gaining weight in the first place, so it will take quite a long time. Now, there are quicker solutions to this, like going on a dirty bulk, but I'm actually going for a lean bulk, so I can minimize all fat gain and maximize all muscle gain. However, because of this, it means that you will need to spend at least a couple years of doing the circuit of bulking up, then cutting down, then bulking up, then cutting down, then bulking up, then cutting down, and finally maintaining the weight that you're happy with. And even though it will be difficult, you will gain fat, you will lose your abs, and you'll lose all your muscle definition. It's a necessary process to actually build your body to become muscular and aesthetic. Another tip is to try space out your meals so that you're actually hungry when you eat, and to also make sure that you eat on time. You don't want it to be around 11 p.m. and you still have another 600 calories to eat. That means you have to cook another meal. So thanks for watching. Now these are all the steps that I'm doing in order to bulk up, to gain muscle and build my aesthetic body. If you have enjoyed the video and learned something about bulking, please subscribe to the channel for more self-improvement videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.